All right, awesome. So we do have a quorum. I'll call the meeting to order at 4:30 on the money. The first, everyone has their agenda. So the first item on the agenda is review and approve minutes from June 17th, 2025. They were sent out via email and you also have a physical copy in there. I will entertain a motion to approve.
Sorry.
Okay, I guess I'll make the motion to approve. Cody seconds. Any discussion on the minutes? All right, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right, second item on our agenda here is staffing update, introductions.
All right, well, I don't have an introduction, I forgot.
So no introduction.
No introduction.
We just talked about it an hour ago.
Well, maybe it's coming to planning board. So Tim is gonna get done. And so we're gonna back up capacity because he's familiar with what's going on, he's local and has dogs and whatnot to tend to at home. So that's kind of how we're gonna fill that back up for now. And a younger brother, Dan Lyman, is taking over the facility, so he started back on the 29th of September. He is, maybe that's it, he's assimilating very well, and obviously his obstacles right now. Are catching on to the things that happen periodically. There it is.
Introduction. Hello.
Hello.
Happens every 3 months, happens every 6 months kind of a thing as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
Yeah, and so that's what having Tim around still, it will be beneficial for him. And I have proposed a compensation package with Dan that puts on a salary so that, it's more of a predictable, structure. And also the understanding that, there are call-ins and things like that, it's just a lot easier to manage. And there's the reward on the other side, that if you get the job done, and it's done well, then you benefit from that as well, so. We understand it's gonna go both ways. So you folks wanna introduce yourself today and Dan back to board.
Cool, I'm Robbie Bickford. I live over on Childs Road. I have a couple places in town right on the corner here. I work at the Kennebec Water District in Waterville, so I do water and wastewater, or I do water and to be wastewater eventually. So welcome, thanks for coming on.
Dan, I'm Cody St. Amand. I live over on Roy Street. I work for the Maine Army National Guard full-time. Been on the sewer commission for a couple of years now. On board.
All right, thank you.
John Ames, Depot Street.
The myth, the man, the legend, John Ames.
Master welder, you fixed my boiler. Back 2 years ago.
I do a lot of welding for a lot of people.
Cool, well, welcome, we appreciate you coming on, hope everything's going all right. You're picking it up, you get to work with your brother,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's riveting.
Challenge it, so.
I know, I would say so. Well, great, you need anything from us, just an introduction, cool. Next item, so as we go through this, I feel like we're pretty informal here, so if you have something you wanna add, just. Throw your hand up, talk, we always ask Tim all kinds of questions, so. Just be ready for more questions.
All
Discussion and action on financials. So Richard did send out the current year to date, the 2025 actual, as well as the back past 5 or 6 years, it looks like. Yeah, so that looks good. I did review it. We can just talk about it. We don't need to approve these because these are approved by the select board. Correct?
Correct.
At monthly?
Sewer pays every, first and third.
Okay.
They pay every.
Okay, cool, so we don't have any action that we need to take on this, but do we have any questions, comments on where we're at now? Anything like that, those lines?
So for this meeting, I gave it to you in this format because at the last meeting, we talked about
Absolutely.
the ordinance and budgeting and whatnot, and we should be budgeting and that budget should help guide rate settings. Obviously costs have risen significantly in this nature of business. Outside of just everything else. And there's pressure on users, more pressure than ever. But we're driving a deficit still, and you lost your largest customer, in this last year, which appears to be generating a larger, gap. So I gave it to you in this format, realizing that we're gonna maintain this going forward. And then wanting to figure out what role you folks wanna play in budgeting, because it's not a raising the budget. Like we have to go to taxation to do it, this is a tool to be used to set rates.
Mhm.
So, and that is your job. The other component is that when we received our grant back along, they wanted us to be putting money away. Just a general reserve account. In 2017, that number was 16,950. There was no inflationary factor or anything that was tied to that. So during the life of the loan, we're supposed to be putting 16,950 away each year. Whether it gets spent or not is not a thing, it just should be a part of our budget.
16,000 or 16?
$16,950. I took that because, if we're gonna be responsible, we should be looking at economic conditions. Put that into the, time value of money, and we're at 22,650 is the equivalent dollars. In 2025, 2026. Just to kind of.
Yeah.
And I know, Robbie, you had asked about, what do we see for needs in the facility in the next, say, 3 to 5 years, and there's nothing that's really glaring. We've got a relatively new truck, it's small mileage.
Yeah.
The facility's upgraded, so I think that if we do what USDA has asked us to do and put this money into a reserve, that.
Oh, so it's not 22,000 per year, 22,000 should be in that account.
No, it's per year
Okay.
allocated, so that really, for
Gotcha.
me, I have another sheet, another line on mine, cause I added it in
Hmm.
after I sent it out, but. That needs to be a part of our operating budget, if you will, in terms of showing up as an expense offset by revenues.
Yeah.
Look at our breakers, right?
Yeah, so I did read through this and a bunch of different things. I didn't see that number come up anywhere. I don't know, most probably just a recommendation based on the grant for capital improvements.
It's in the award letter from the USDA,
Okay, back in from the 90s,
back from
or the most recent
just
upgrade.
recent, yes.
What year was that?
2019, 2020, but no, 2017,
2017.
it was when I grant was approved.
Cool. Yeah, so I think that our role here, please correct me if I'm wrong, please, is to represent the users, right? And the people of Norridgewock. And one thing that I really took seriously in our charge from the sewer use thing is rate setting and budgeting.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we haven't done, it sounds like, in the past, is review budget and set a budget. So I think that's something that we should do as a board. If we're gonna be saying to the people like, hey, we're gonna raise your rates, we need to know where we're going. So ideally, this would come from the superintendent and operator, whoever's running the plan and the collection system of a capital budget, capital plan. So what do you have for capital needs? So anything over, what's our capitalization policy? Do we have it around?
We don't have a formal policy right
Okay.
now, a capital purchase is 10,000.
Okay, so anything over $10,000, that's gonna be capitalized. I'd like to see a budget for 2026. That includes all the capital expenditures. Granted, something's gotta come up, right? $10,000 doesn't go very far in this day and age, we know that. But a capital budget plan, do you have a pump or a truck? I think you said the truck's new, so I think there's value in that, to understand that. And so that again, that would be the capitalization plan, and then having an operation budget, reviewing the 2026 operation budget, I think is important. I'm obviously not gonna be able to put it together in a day or 5 days, it's gonna take some time, Look at your current expenses, project out 2025 actuals to what you might be for end of 25, and kind of, we can do that, and then we can look at our projected revenues, right? Take into account the loss of, New Balance, thank you. Take into account that, take into account, and have a projected revenues, and then we can see the deficit of where we are for actual spend versus that. Cause I don't know that, and kind of you did it here, and we kind of can do a line, but in the sound of it, this use charges is gonna be significantly less.
But you also are gonna offset that by the increase that you
Oh.
approve for partial year.
Agreed.
So that's gonna, I'll argue, relatively wash out.
Yeah.
If not increase. on the
Yeah.
whole.
So I think for financials, what's a reasonable amount of time to get a 2026 projected budget? A month?
Well, how long is it gonna take you there?
A month? Meet next month?
Next month is more than enough time.
Okay, you want less
It's
time?
there, whatever is good for you. No, a month is good for me.
Okay, yeah, let's schedule a meeting for. Yeah. We can do a doodle poll, I think that was great,
Yeah.
the third week or second week,
Yeah.
and then we can review the budget, see where we're at. We can see what capital needs you have, see what operational expenses we predict, right? And then we can try to factor in, I'd like to see like a line item for that contingency. I think that'd be great.
That's on this, that's
Yeah,
on this,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think that'd be awesome, to kind of give us an idea, because again, I think that is critical for the rate setting
So I
process.
backed out, say 75%, right? So we're trying to 3/4 down, 75% divide everything by 0.75, and that's ideally gonna put you where you are at the end of the year. We're driving a deficit.
I got you, for the
Well,
budget,
well, we need to peel out, cause I'm there, I'm already there, I get that number.
okay,
We need to peel out those property casualty insurances that we've already paid, and we're not gonna pay another 25%.
sure.
Those are the things that will
Yeah.
help narrow the gap, because candidly, the position of the department for next year does not look great,
Right,
even where we do realize some wage savings.
right, yeah, I think we need to, probably one of our largest expenses is, yeah, full-time wages is our largest expense.
Right.
So I think like doing that and, the part-time, kind of estimate how many hours you think you'll be working there, Tim, and. I think there's a lot we can look at, and then from there, we need to make a decision, and. Maybe we do say, predicted rate increases to cover that deficit. I'm not saying we want to do anything, I think 10% is pretty hefty to begin with.
Right.
Let's let that even out, I mean, you're gonna predict it with everything where we're at now. So, and then, from that budget, I think the act of creating a budget, and looking at all of our expenses. With the light of potential savings is important as well. I don't know what there is for savings, I don't operate that plant, but there's always.
Yeah.
And not even necessarily. I mean, I kind of hate saying like, watch your pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves, but. I'm not saying you need to save $1 here and $1 there, but if there's anything we can potentially
Anything that
do.
we can do to keep from having to just only raise rates is the only option.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Because we have a significant plant that we didn't build necessarily, we did the upgrade, so. It's a small user base to cover the costs of those plants and collection systems. I think that a budget is our best friend. Correct me if I'm wrong, John, what are your thoughts?
No,
So we'll schedule a meeting next month, once you get it done, maybe. Send out a doodle poll if you could, Richard.
Yep.
We can go through that. Do we wanna talk anything else on financials of this? Sounds like we got. A few action items to follow up on, so next meeting we'll have a proposed capital budget. And then proposed operational budget. And then, we can run through it and we'll have more detail. Is that okay?
And that'd be good.
Yeah. All right, discussing action on sewer use ordinance alignment with main plumbing code. So we received 2 documents in our online packet. I don't know, did you get the email one, John, or do you just get the physical?
I get them.
So there was one that had track changes on them, and then the cleaned up version. This is the track changes now, it looks like. Page 7 is really the only thing that I saw, or I guess 7 and 8, the only thing that changed. Right, I believe. Anyway, just alignment with.
I can go right into it, what I had looked at were the notes that we had at the last meeting.
Yep.
And made those adjustments, and then. The notes had indicated that you folks are gonna take another look and see if there's anything that maybe got you to think about. And we had talked about, process for connection, maybe you emailed me after the fact. The process for connection, the responsibility of oversight and installation for anything like that.
Oh, yeah,
So, that was added on the page 7, and I just swagged that, language.
cool. No, I think that's, makes sense to me, just make sure it's done right. Make sure that we're doing it in connection with this main state plumbing code. I didn't have any issues, I read through it, it's pretty standard stuff as far as I could tell. Did you have any issues with this, Tim? You read through this lengthy document, seems fine. Good. Okay,
Makes it easier for us for updating, just the plumbing code.
Yeah. right, yeah, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, pretty standard. Okay. So the other thing is, superintendent operator consistency. So I did read through just right in the, definition sections, it does say superintendent is the operator of the plant.
Correct.
And then it doesn't reference operator again throughout the entire document. There's no other reference to operator, it just refers to a superintendent, the entire document.
Right, that's what I found, and I don't, maybe that just caught our eye at the outset.
Oh, we
when we were
definitely,
looking at it.
oh, that was something we talked about, maybe because we were talking about hiring and what is the position, actual title.
It was a comment that you had made about it, and so I just went back through and just used the search function. to
Yeah, I did.
Figure out where it was, and,
Yeah, I did the same, I didn't see any issue
but I
with it.
thought it was,
Yeah,
I just wanted to circle back to some notes.
okay, cool, no, I think it looks good, I mean, like I said, it says, shall be the operator of the wastewater facility for the town of Norridgewock, blah, 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 and then references superintendent for the rest of it, so. New connections, that's what we talked about, page 7, do you need any action on that, Richard?
Not if everything looks good to you when you're all done, we'll, make a motion to
Yep.
recommend this ordinance, then we'll put it through a cycle for March.
Okay. Any other amendments to this? We saw,
Didn't see anything worthwhile, honestly.
to be honest, it seemed a lot of legalese, stuff that was kind of formal and I read through it and nothing jumped out at me. So I move that we recommend the changes to the sewer use ordinance to be put forward at the annual meeting. Does it need to go to select board first?
Formally.
Okay, so to go to the select board for that review process. So I need a second before we can have any discussion.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Right, thank you. Public comment, limit of 2 minutes. Any other? All
Yeah, Colin.
right, no members of the public. You're overflowing with clear wells right now. Any other business?
Ann Street, well, Highland,
I said that,
go.
I said clear well, not wet well. Huh?
It'll be good for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, any other business we wanna talk about? Did you have anything on your, alright, Cody, you good?
Good,
John?
I'm good.
Alright, I move to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Alright, all in favor?
Who wants to go to Mechanic Street?
Thank you.